We're gonna do this, huh?
Yes, we're gonna do this.
So remind everybody what we're watching again, because I don't have the disc, the case here.
Uh,
So you left it over at the TV.
Yes.
Smart.
I left over the TV. All right, so this is what we're watching: Carolina Championship Wrestling from March 12th, 2005, with special referee Mick Foley in a bloody brawl. It's going to be Abdullah the Butcher versus Dusty Rhodes. And you can only see half of me because the other half of me is ugly as shit. Remember that.
And I take up the rest of the screen.
Yeah. All right, so here's a match card: Jason Jones versus Mike Little, and that match absolutely fucking sucked.
It was a minute, so we're not going to bother recapping.
Yeah. Then there is Tommy Gunn versus Jason King, which is what we're fixing to watch now. Then there's Brad Attitude versus Shane Austin versus Tim Hunter versus Brad Thomas. And then the fourth match is Midgets. Yes, it's exactly what it says. Midgets.
They don't like to be called little people. They don't like to be called dwarfs. This is a midget match. It's wrestling.
Yes. It will be Joe Kidd versus Bad Boy Buck. The fifth match is Chrissy Vane versus Amber O'Neil.
No. It's Chrissy Vane and Amber O'Neil.
Yes, that.
It's one of the variations of Team Blondage.
Yeah. Well, those two versus Fantasia and Vanessa Harding.
Do I get to tell my Vanessa Harding story later?
Yes.
Oh, good. I
Um,
have a Vanessa Harding story for later.
then the sixth match is going to be Greg Valentine versus George South Jr. The seventh match is a first blood match with the Midnight Express versus the Rock and Roll Express. And then the finish is going to be Dusty Rhodes versus Abdullah the Butcher with Mick Foley as special referee.
They couldn't do that as a first blood because as soon as they get in the ring, they're going to be bleeding.
Right. You guys are not going to see that. What you guys are going to see is him and his reaction. So,
All because I reacted to one thing that just happened, so.
you see the cover.
This may still be available on highspots.com.
Cheap knockoff plug for High Spots. There you go.
I do shows with High Spots, so. I didn't get a kickback for that, I promise.
All right, here we go. Play.
Now it's not going to play.
But now we got second match going on right here with
Dan Paris
Tommy
doing
Gunn taking on
commentary.
Bad Street Jason King.
Yeah, you may want to turn that down so they can hear what I'm doing.
Right.
Comes to us highly recommended.
That it's you managed to turn it up. That's great. Not a knock on Dan Paris, but we're not here to listen to him. We're here to listen to me. Tommy Gunn, I feel like I've heard of, but I never worked with. And who was the other guy again? Might as well just keep that nearby.
Right.
Jason King.
Yes.
Jason King, I know I'm not familiar with. I do know the referee's Charles Collard. I've worked with Charles quite a bit over the years. The show took place in Lenore, North Carolina. I recognize a few people in the crowd. It's one nice thing about being in wrestling all these years. You get to see a lot of the same people. So now Dan Paris has been joined by somebody on commentary. I don't recognize the voice. Very high-strung.
Yeah.
Seems very excited about the show. They do like the hip toss.
Was that the 2-inch Gardner stakes versus 24-inch pythons?
Wow, I'm impressed. The second match of the show, and they're already announcing the main event for next show. So if you get the next DVD, you get to see Jeff Jarrett versus Dusty Rhodes. So that may give you an idea who's going to win in the main event.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have the number one contender to the title lose, the show before he gets a shot. Another hip toss. This one stopped. There's the reversal. Oh, and an arm drag. Yeah, they're making a big deal about Gunn being local. So that's what he's got going for him. He's from Lenore. That's where the show is. So cheer for me. There's a wrestler who actually has that on his gear, cheer for me.
Nice.
Yeah. So if D.A. Brewer's watching this, that's one for you, buddy.
See, I think the first Sean Owens shirt for Call It in the Ring
Uh-huh.
is going to be right here in your town here.
It's a cheap pot, but it won't be a cheap shirt. High quality.
Probably have to pay them to.
Yeah. It won't be released. It'll escape.
Yeah.
That one, credit to Bob Keller. They really couldn't get another person in this building. It's very impressive. I did a show at that same building maybe 3-4 years after this event,
Yeah.
like 2008, 2009, and we didn't have a fraction of what they've got there. It's just the town was dead by that point.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because looking at it here, it was a great town to be in.
Well, shit. When I can't remember who the hell actually came through easily. It was at the high school, right before the high school moved and the high school became the middle school.
Uh-huh.
And they had Buff Bagwell there, and they had Rick Steiner. And there was not a seat in the house, man. Down below, and then the next level up. I'm not talking about the bleachers. I'm up here.
I did a show in that building.
It was packed.
Met Bob Keller doing those shows. He had a run-in with Rikishi's ass.
That was at MGW, wasn't it?
It was.
I was there for that show. Rikishi was pissed. Side note, if you're going to promote people and you're going to book people, pay them.
Yeah, money's always good. Never made a dime doing those shows, but I had a lot of memories from it. I met Bob Keller there. I got to manage the Barbarian. Didn't wind up with Rikishi's ass in my face. Bob got that one. And got to manage Bobby Eaton and his son Dylan against Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express, who we're going to see Ricky and Robert later.
Right. What the hell, man? Those are the worst popcorn punches I've seen in my life.
Gunn's a big guy. I'm a little disappointed that he feels the need for the T-shirt. T-shirts really scream independent wrestling to me. You know, either own up to your physique or wear something that covers it all.
Right.
That's why they make singlets.
Yeah.
That's why they make full body suits. And Mark Henry's wrestled in practically a wetsuit for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Oh! Have you ever seen somebody punch somebody else with their wrist? I mean, it was clearly like that. Sorry.
Yeah, next time you do that, I'm going to sell it.
I was saying before we started recording, I kind of like the quality of the video here.
Right.
It reminds me of the old Mid-South Coliseum shows from Memphis. And Dan Paris with the comparing everything to like something else.
Right.
You know, this is a body slam like maneuver. That was like a diamond cutter. We call it a TKO, but that's like a diamond cutter.
That was actually my first finish.
Oh. Who hit it on you? You ask.
It was going to be a super kick, but then Great stole that from me and said, "Yeah, I'm going to start doing a super kick." And then, like, he went in right before me, and
I see an old lady at ringside dabbing, like 12 years before anybody else did. Actually, she just had her arm like this and was pointing, but it's the same thing. Oh yeah, I recognize a lot of people in the crowd now. Yeah, I've seen a lot of these folks over the years.
you know, it's always amazing to see and hear somebody that has gone to so many shows and so many different places actually remember people like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when I worked down at Anarchy, we had people were at the same seats every show. They had the seats reserved sometimes months in advance.
Yeah.
So you got to know who sat where. If they weren't there, you were like, okay, where's so-and-so?
It's kind of like the hat guy from ECW.
Yeah, exactly. you knew who to watch out for and who you could have fun with.
Yeah. You see where Dean Ambrose about got stabbed?
I heard about that.
Dude jumped the fucking railing as he was making his entrance
Jeez.
and got from here to the laptop from him
I
before he got
almost,
speared.
we almost had an incident with a knife once when I was managing. We think anyway. Never actually saw the knife.
Well, that's just like Scotty Wren back, when I told you about the problem that I had with him. Fucking, for those that don't know, just in case you're watching Scotty Wren, how you doing? I miss you, brother. But I tried out for NCW, which was on White Horse Road at the time in Greenville, and they decided they were going to go ahead and rough me up because Dude Man didn't bother doing a handshake, and
Whoa, get a load of that robe.
oh yeah, um,
With the dyed feathers, too. Gotta love it.
but so I got the shit kicked out of me on that show, and the next show that they had, I ended up coming out there too, and I was wearing my Metallica hoodie, and I'm just watching this tag team match. It was a Boogaloo Crew versus Team Ego, and yeah, of course you remember those guys.
Oh, yeah?
Well, Scotty gets tossed in the fucking corner, and he pulls the ref over to him, James Harold, and or Harold James,
Harold
whichever
James.
one he went by, and it was audible. It's like, and I'm like way back. I'm at the door, at that garage door they had.
Oh, yeah?
So I was pretty far. I heard him say, "That's the kid I beat the fuck out of the other night. It looked like he got a gun in his pocket. Has he got a gun?"
Did you have a gun?
No, I didn't have a gun.
Oh, okay. Just asking.
The only gun I had was not in my pocket. It was in my pants.
Well, we both know that was loaded. Four-way dance, okay?
At least I can say I'm never shooting blanks. That's the thing about Shane. I have never ever seen him in anything other than biker shorts. Never.
Now, Brad Attitude I've worked with a few times. Okay.
Set the stage for him real quick. What the hell is he wearing?
He's wearing the blue robe, or could be a purple robe because the feathers look purple. Charlotte, North Carolina, the Nature Boy.
And this is whose promotion again?
Tony Hunter.
Have you ever worked with this guy?
Yes, I've worked with Tony a few times.
Does he normally book shit like this?
But Tony doesn't book a lot anymore. Usually he now goes around as like a middleman for some of the names. He travels with Ricky Steamboat a lot. I usually see him at like the big time wrestling shows. Right after Dusty Rhodes passed away, he referees a lot for the big time shows, and he had on his pants, kind of like Tommy Dreamer did, where one of the pant legs was polka dots as a tribute to Dusty. So this match has been called a four-way dance, a Texas Tornado, and a Battle Royal.
And it looks like it's in fucking fast forward.
Which is kind of surprising, given the appearance of a couple of the guys in here.
Yeah. I will hand it to Shane though. Shane bumps his ass off.
Well, Brad Attitude just handed it to Shane.
Did you see that?
Yeah, kind of a fish flop. We got our super kick. Now they're calling out the Nature Boy for not being the Nature Boy. But you'll get that from Dan a lot on commentary. Because if he doesn't like something, he'll shit on it right away. It's kind of like at the beginning of the second match, he was saying this should be better than our first match, which was nothing. Because it was a minute and a half. He doesn't have to live up to the Flair name. He didn't call himself Ric Flair.
Right?
He didn't call himself a Flair. He just called himself a Nature Boy. Well, he got the bump right. I'll give him that. And another hip toss. So we're not watching the matches ahead of us.
Right.
You know, I realize there's only so many wrestling maneuvers you can do, but still, you don't need to see them in almost the same succession every match.
Right.
Hey, another hip toss. We just tried to do one of those WWE zoom ins, and they went to the crowd. They missed the ring completely.
Did I ever tell you about doing the birthday show?
I think so.
It was the first birthday show I ever done. Where it was the one I was telling you, the kid got hit by a stop sign.
Right.
All right. Well, that was the birthday kid, right? About 45 minutes before, I just make my entrance. You know, Naz is already out there. He's got everybody hating him, and I'm doing my thing. And I start getting over on it, right? Get my shine, you know, and it's getting ready for the cutoff. Birthday kid jumps up on the apron, says, "Give it an Irish whip!"
Didn't know you had a manager.
That's a weird thing, man.
It's the scary thing about some shows like that. You don't have the security or the protection around ringside that you normally would.
I mean, the kid was 8, you know, and I'm like,
Who ate him?
9 from the Rise Guys. If you guys don't know who the Rise Guys are, then you suck.
So wait, time out. Now we don't know what the rules for the match are. Because I just heard him say that they're breaking up pinfalls when it's elimination, and then he says, well, at least I think it's elimination. It might be one fall.
Shit.
So now we have to wait and see for the first pinfall if the match stops or if it keeps going. Which I can't say anything because that's happened to me before, and I've just been like, oh crap, it was an elimination. I thought it was one fall. Luckily, I've never been called out on that. But you know, there have been times where I've called a match as scheduled for one fall, and it went to an elimination, and I went, crap. The worst is when you announce a match as non-title, and it was for the title.
Oh, shit.
Or vice versa, and it changes hands. You're like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's a sitting room only crowd tonight.
Yeah.
There's nobody standing.
Yeah, by the way, that...
Was that a lariat with his shoulder? I didn't see his arm out.
You catch the Flair bump off the top rope by him, too?
Yeah. A body slam on the hardwood floor. Superplex always. Oh, no. Ooh. Right on the tailbone.
They shouldn't land on his neck.
It's true. Twisting crossbody. That was different. And the victory for Brad Attitude. That got them on their feet, or at least 5 or 6 of them in the crowd.
Right?
Don't hurt yourself, Dan, trying to figure out what that was. I'll give him credit. The first few matches are going by rather quick.
Yeah.
Not a lot of downtime. Of course, this could all have been edited, quickly. But we're going to do a 5-minute victory celebration for Brad.
Yeah.
That was nice. Shake the referee's hand.
Well, I think this match has been definitely edited because those guys were going like the speed of fucking sound.
Oop, that was a jump. This must be our midget match. Yep. Yeah, the first midget is trying to figure out how he's going to get into the ring because there's no chair to step up onto. I literally just saw him ask where the chair was. And maybe it's behind that kid's head.
It may be.
It must be because the announcer just stepped up on something. Just told the crowd to suck it, but I don't think anybody else can get that low.
Huh.
All right, promo from a midget. Not exactly a Rick Rude promo, is it? Ah, the old tooth and teeth brush joke. And my favorite always was that they had that smile look like their tongue was in jail. He found the chair. Yeah, and our first game of grab ass. So that's where Clemson got it. Usually I got, I mean, full handful. He was checking for polyps. Like knuckle deep. It's like he was bowling.
Boomer Pain.
Audio's off again. I think if you're going to do that, it's supposed to be near the elbow, not up on the shoulder. That was the old President Scrooge salute, you know? I do it, but I have a soda can. I don't want 7-Up flying everywhere.
Yeah, right? New couch.
Yeah, new couch. I'm not going to do that to you.
All right, we got midget action coming up right here. We got Bad Boy Buck from all the way in Tennessee.
And he's biting the referee's butt before the match even starts. Taking a sandwich out of his butt?
Good job. Now, don't quit, Marjorie, what's going on here?
Dave! Just had his bells rung.
Mark Foley getting a headbutt in the old home plate.
Never heard it referred to as home plate before.
He might have trouble walking tonight.
I had trouble walking before tonight. They need higher elevation seating to watch the midget match. Alright, so the bell hasn't even sounded, and now we've got a boring chant.
Yeah.
Never a good sign. Oh, maybe the bell did ring.
It was a little short.
Oh, okay. Hey, guess
Ka-tunk.
what? Another hip. No, with the ka-tunk. You hit the side, it goes ding ding. You hit the top, it goes ka-tunk. Did that on purpose. There's a reason you're not in the entire shot. Dan Paris said they're doing a damn good job.
Let's get a GoFundMe account for him.
I would love to know who the cameramen were for this show. There's just been some odd zooms and random just close-ups of people who there shouldn't be a close-up.
Right.
Oh, good, they got him a chair for that side too. He's got a headlock on his wrist. He's biting his fingernails. Not his own fingernails, his opponent's fingernails. Apparently they didn't have catering at this show.
Apparently not. It's finger food.
Finger food, yeah. You realize there's kids in this crowd that are in their late 20s, early 30s now?
That scares me.
The show was 12 years ago. There could be kids in that crowd that were starting school that year and are graduating this summer.
Right?
I don't know if there are. And he tripped getting in the ring. And he just tried kicking and missed. Now he's having the referee check the rope. And biting the referee in the butt again. Because at this point, why not?
Wrestling.
Wrestling. That's all you need to know. Wrestling.
It's a rump roast, people.
You know, that's one thing I've never had to call in my time is I've never had to do play-by-play on a midget match. I've done ring announcing for a couple. You know what? No, I take that back. I may have down in Chester. We did have the midgets down there quite a bit. Funny story about that is we had a show with the midgets, and we had Ryan O'Reilly, who's now Connor in the Ascension.
That just took a full fucking minute for a midget to run around the ring.
But it was... yeah, I got it. It was Connor and Gunner were supposed to have a thing with him. Now, Gunner and Connor are like 6'5", 6'6" together, both 280 pounds at that time. They were like kids in a candy store excited that they were going to work with midgets. Like, oh my god, this is going to be great, this is going to be great. And it was surreal seeing how giddy they were about this.
Right?
And I think they wound up wrestling Skylar and BJ instead, but it was still fun to watch.
Right?
That's the stuff you don't get to see in the ring. Now we're going to run the ropes crisscrossing. Smaller guy stops, so Fatty's going to keep running. He's running out of breath. Please let that be the 3. The old standby. Let's keep throwing him back on. Now you know what's going to happen, right? Is now he's going to try it, and the referee's going to catch him and toss him off to the side. They're going to tell him, quit doing that. I don't think the pelvic thrusts were necessary. He's not doing the time warp again. Yep, he's telling him, don't do it. Like, okay, so next time I'll just heave him over. Gotcha. I got it. We're back on track now. There's fist. We're going to go right for the pin. Yep. 1, 2, up. And he just tumbles him over. Sort of. Wasn't exactly a throw. It was more of a nyeh.
Yeah. Again with the boring chance.
Yeah, never a good sign, especially in a midget match that's supposed to be one of the more entertaining, lighthearted things on the show.
What are we going to go here? Oh. I thought it was going to be a headbutt. That would have been entertaining.
No, just toe tapped in the testicles.
It's worse to get tapped than it is to get kicked.
Well, it depends on what part of the foot you use. You go in with the toe, that hurts.
Yeah.
John Schuyler could tell you the back of the palm doesn't do wonders either. They were doing the capital of Thailand game one time in the locker room.
You want to explain that to everybody?
You ask somebody what's the capital of Thailand. What is it? Bangkok. And you smack them in the junk. Skyler was trying to do that to somebody in Chester one night. I don't remember who. And I happened to be about as close as you and I are. What's the capital of Thailand? I went, Bangkok! And I just whap! And Skyler dropped to his knees like he was tombstoning somebody. He told me afterwards, he says, I've never been hit that hard in the crotch before. Sorry, John. That was a neat way to go into the finish.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he could have leaped over him.
Uh-huh.
Just tucked his feet in and rolled him over. And smart. He got the quick victory and got the hell out of the ring.
Yeah.
Because if you're the good guy that happens, you get out of there as fast as you can. That must be Fantasia, because I don't really recognize her. And I know the other three girls in this one. Turn the microphone on, sweetheart. Fantasia looks like Tanya Harding. She's built to go all night like Lumberjack. Sorry, Lumberjill. Vanessa Harding looks different. This was after I met her, but I don't know, maybe the swelling went down.
So you hit the music after they get in the
After
ring.
the girls get to the ring. Amber O'Neill's still around today. See her quite a bit.
Where's she working?
All over. She's a former NWA Women's Champ.
Nice.
I always love that name, Team Bondage. Chrissy Vane was another sweetheart. I worked with her quite a bit years ago. We met in Michigan, and then when I came here, I mentioned Ryan O'Reilly earlier. She was dating Ryan. I think they were married. They may still be married. I'm not positive now. So every time I saw it, they were usually travel together. So you see that the wrestlers, a lot of times the guys, everybody fawns over them because they're more well known. I'd stand and bullshit with the girls.
You gotta wonder just what Mick Foley's thinking, because he's got to be watching at least some.
Oh, I know Mick Foley does. I was at a show in Union a couple years ago that he was at, and he sat. There was an area that had like one of those grid fences, like the diagonals.
Yeah.
And he was watching the show through it. And he watched the entire thing.
Yeah, you gotta wonder what the hell he's thinking throughout this whole thing then, because every match up until this point has been shit. Well, aside from the Shane Austin one, I know that was fast forward from hell, but it was all right. Aside from all the hit drops.
Right. So it was Vanessa Harding. So while the introductions are going, I'll tell my Vanessa Harding story. I met Vanessa Harding at a show, a convention and show in Indianapolis, Indiana. Same place I met Mick Foley for the first time. And the Midnight Express, for that matter. But Vanessa was on the show, and for those of you who have never seen Vanessa Harding, she is very gifted in the chest area. If she had a chest cold, it could be fatal. Large chest is what I'm trying to say there. And when I got a picture taken with her. It's on my Facebook. You can look at the people I've met, and I think I've got the story on there too. She asked me for my name when she signed the picture. I said, my name's Brett. She said, oh, you spell that with one T or two? And I said, two, but I answered to both. And she said, okay. So she writes on there, to Brett, you have 2 T's, I have double D's. Vanessa Harding. Which now they're even comparing chests now in the ring. And I think Chrissy is a little underdeveloped in this case. You know, I kind of want to go back and look. I have a DVD that I bought from Chrissy Vane. It was like a best of Chrissy Vane. I wonder if this match is on there. Because this would have been shortly before I worked with her. I think. And Dan Paris has no idea who the women are. At least he's honest.
Yeah.
Stout-looking women? I don't know if I would use stout to describe these girls.
Right.
Certainly no stranger to the lanes around here. I've worked with her on many occasions, and she's really come into her own as of late since she's joined up with Chrissy Vane. And a good opening contest here with Vanessa Harding. Vanessa wanting to go for
I gotta tell you, when I first got this DVD, I tried to watch all the matches. I tried. I gave it my best fucking effort.
So you thought this would be the best DVD to show me tonight?
Yeah, because I know that with you I'd get a laugh.
Now we're going to do the dance party test of strength. Oh no, Vanessa's not going to have that. It goes right to slap in the face. I was Amber as one tough girl. Yeah, I do believe Fantasia is bigger than Charles Collier, the referee.
Charles Kohler's still doing his dirt.
Charles still? Yeah, Charles is slowing down, but he's still around. You know how Ric Flair always had Charles Robinson as his referee? Charles Collier is that for Gunner. Almost always the referee for Gunner's matches, and 9 times out of 10, Skyler's too, if he's around.
I think red is the most appropriate color for this team. They look good in any color around. They are on fire, that's for sure.
So first Dan has no idea who these girls are, and then he's going to start talking dirty talk about them, saying they'd look good in anything. Vanessa Harding looks like she's wearing the swimsuit that Miss Elizabeth wore at SummerSlam '88. Just missing the skirt. At least Charles noticed she was in the ropes. She wasn't trying to hide it or anything. So this was March 2005. Ooh. This would have been 6 months before I started ring announcing. I had my first show where I announced in September of '05.
And that was in Michigan?
I was in Michigan, Bay City, Michigan. I was so excited going home, and then I got pulled over on the way home. Because I didn't change lanes for a pulled over cop.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Talk about ruining a good night.
Did you get a warning or a ticket?
I got the ticket.
How bad was it?
I don't remember at this point. I just know I was pissed off that night when I got home.
Too many tickets.
You travel as much as I do, it happens. One that really pissed me off was when I was in Atlanta. Went to Atlanta for WrestleMania. We set a show for Dragon Gate USA. I'm leaving the show. I'm at a stoplight. I turn. Almost immediately, I've got flashers behind me. No idea why. Pull into a Waffle House because it was the nearest thing that would get me out of traffic. Cop says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" "No, sir. I can't think of any reason." "You turned on a no turn on red."
Was it red?
"Yes." I said, "Okay, I'm sorry. I did not see that." Handed him all of my information. It's like, "I'm from Greenville. I'm here for the weekend." Didn't know. Came up, handed me the ticket, and then told me to enjoy the rest of my weekend in Atlanta. You want to hear something really funny about that story? I met up with the rest of my friends at a IHOP after that. And I was telling them the story. And while I'm telling them, I'm playing on my phone. And I see a post from a friend of mine, Chase Owens, who wrestles quite a bit now. He's part of the Bullet Club in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Post, "Sitting here at Waffle House, somebody just got pulled." This guy. I've never told Chase that story. I ought to bring that up the next time I see him.
Send this to him.
So if you're ever traveling through Atlanta, obey all the signs. What's the old saying? If you ever take a trip to Cobb County, Georgia, read the signs, respect the law and order.
Yeah.
You'll serve hard time. It's the big boss man's theme. He died.
You know, the most interesting spot that I've ever seen him do. And all right, folks, if you've seen the Hell in a Cell DVD, the 3 DVD set, it's got every Hell in a Cell minus one that I can think of, and that's the Hell in a Cell between Boss Man and the Undertaker, where Boss Man got
WrestleMania
hanged.
15. Yeah.
It's not on there, and that I thought would be on there because that's one of the biggest spots that he's ever pulled off. But that was the most interesting one I've seen of him. Aside from, eating, well, not eating, but
Serving peppers.
Yeah, yeah.
WrestleMania Access. Every year they do the Undertaker's graveyard for his opponents, or at least they did, up until the streak was broken.
Right.
When we went to WrestleMania in Houston, WrestleMania 25, we went to Access, and I'm standing through this graveyard looking at all these tombstones. I made it a point. I had to find WrestleMania 15 with the Big Boss Man, because that was the only opponent of the Undertaker's that's actually died.
Was it there?
Yes.
Did it actually have the date?
Well, WrestleMania, not his information, but that's my sense of humor.
They should have put his information on there, though. Like that would have been.
It looks like 50 ladies is heading to the bag, and she's crawling toward her partner. Inches away. Fantasia has tagged in. And Amber O'Neal has tagged in as well.
She is a solid woman, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Talking about Fantasia, by the way. That's a way to knock her down. Step on the foot, then clothesline her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nasty bump off the apron.
So I think this works with us watching a women's match. You know one thing that we don't hear about anymore? Pussy farts. I got a pop. I got a pop from Brett fucking Wolverton. Yeah!
Oh, damn. I did not expect that. And I missed the end of the match. Oh, God. You got me on that one. Congrats. Oh.
That makes what? 1 to like 10 million?
Yeah, that's... No.
You've no longer gone
No,
undefeated.
you got at least 2. You got me with the Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I don't do the Mayos because there used to be one. It's Greg the Hammered Valentine.
And you don't look happy.
He never looks happy. Every picture you ever see Greg Valentine at a show, they all look the same. This is all he does. No expression. Just the man doesn't age though. He's looked that way for 40 years.
Right?
I mean, maybe a little bit
Saggy?
saggy, but still not one of Bob Keller's favorite people either. You gotta ask him about that next time you see him.
I'll surely do
Put
that.
that in your notes.
Yeah, yeah.
Greg Valentine's gonna go 60 minutes, which is fine because it takes him 25 to get warmed up. George South Jr. His father was the first guy I ever managed. We didn't win that match either. He was just barely in the Hall of Fame at that point.
Yeah.
He went in at WrestleMania 20 in 04, and this is March 05, so just barely a year. This was right when the Hall of Fame was starting to mean something again.
Yeah, right before it went to shit again.
I don't know if it's going to shit again. I think now they're getting to the point it's going to be harder and harder to find names to put in there because you've got all the big ones now.
Well, I mean, they've went and, all right, once they put people that were never, Donald fucking Trump. Donald Trump.
The President of the United States is in the Hall of Fame.
For one fucking spot.
Not necessarily. He hosted WrestleMania 4 and 5 at Trump Plaza. He was at WrestleMania 7. He was at WrestleMania 23 with the billionaire thing. He was GM of Raw for a little bit. So he has the time put in. I'll take that one over Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Drew Carey had one appearance at the Royal Rumble in 2001. That one still scratches my head. But Cyndi Lauper is not. At least as of yet, she isn't. By the time you watch this, she may be.
Right.
I just don't understand. Maybe father and son had a conference. George Senior got on to George Junior and talked about.
You know, one person I think needs to be put in there, but probably will never be. Matt Bourne.
I don't know if Bourne will ever. I could see Doink.
Well, yeah, but I think Doink should be in there, but I think he's.
No,
he should be in.
I'm a supporter of Matt Bourne. I like Bourne. I like Big Josh. I like Doink. I like that half Doink, half Matt Bourne he did in ECW.
Right. Born Again.
Born Again, yeah.
If he was still alive, it'd be the Bourne Identity.
Now we're talking about boxing at a wrestling show. Which reminds me, I don't like Michael Buffer announcing wrestling. I also blame him for the phrase current reigning and defending being used in pro wrestling.
If you want to find out why, go to his interview.
I don't like it. No, sir. Yes, Honest John is the handler for Abdullah the Butcher. He handles all of Abdullah's money.
That sucks that Abdullah's House of Ribs is not open anymore, man.
Yeah, I went a handful of times. I enjoyed it. I made the mistake of going WrestleMania weekend when they were in Atlanta because everybody and their mother went there. So they were out of a lot of things because you'd think, hey, Abdullah the Butcher's going into the Hall of Fame. Why wouldn't we go to his restaurant? You know, everybody was hoping he was going to be there. He wasn't when I went.
Right.
I did get to meet Hugo Savinovich of the Spanish broadcast team. He was there having lunch. Very friendly, took a picture with me. I always thought it was neat. He had a necklace that was rings of all the WWE championships. And they were all just like in a bunch together.
Yeah.
Had to be expensive, but those rings weren't cheap, if I remember right. But no, I went there a handful of times, and they had really neat pictures on the wall, all the wrestlers, and
Uh-huh.
this really giant painting of Abby. I think, if I remember right, John Schuyler, Dash Wilder, and Franklin Dove tried going there that weekend, and they got busted trying to take a picture of Abby. If he sees a camera, it's $10.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
So they got caught, so I think they had to pay the $10. Figure four. Figure, not quite the figure. Somebody didn't know how to do the figure four. I'm thinking it's George. There we go. And he wisely tapped out.
One of the only times that move has actually ever been a finish.
Well, those type of shows, they almost have to. And he made quick work of George, too. That was maybe 5 minutes out of the 60-minute time limit.
Maybe.
Yeah, he took too long getting out of the ring. I bet Papa's going to come out. George going to make the save. We're going to get the George South Sr. versus Greg Valentine match next month. Well, that doesn't look like George. Brad Attitude, I think.
Yep.
That's Stunning Steve's WCW music.
Sounds like it.
Their music's been all over for this show. It's been comical. Heard the Tough Enough theme, Randy Orton's.
The first theme, because he wasn't the Viper then.
Right. He didn't hear voices in his head at that point. The Midnight Express dressed for a street fight. And they got the Midnight Express theme. No greater theme music in wrestling, if you ask me. Bobby, one of the nicest guys in the world. I can't say enough good things about Bobby. You know, I said one of the great things I got to do, I got to manage him and his son against Ricky and Robert. And I was talking to him after the show, and he said, you know, we've done that match so many times, so many different variations. He says, having somebody like you, a new body in there, freshens it up.
Right.
You know, makes it new again. And it's just like goosebumps. The first time I managed him was in Liberty, South Carolina. And Ole Anderson was there that night signing autographs.
Yeah.
Before we went through the curtain, Bobby asked somebody, can we get over to Ole's table? I said, yeah, no problem. Music hits. Midnight Express theme's playing. Goosebumps again. We walk out to the ring. I'm Cloud 9. We walk over to Ole's table. Bobby shakes his hand, talks to him for a little bit. Dylan walks up, shakes his hand, talks to him for a little bit. I walk up, I shake Ole's hand. Pleasure to meet you, sir. And he says, do I know you? I said, no, sir, I'm their manager. And he goes, no, seriously, who the hell are you? And I'm like, you're not going to ruin this for me, you bitter old bastard. It amazes me to think in 2005, this looked just like 1990.
Right.
Or I guess with Dennis there, 86. But why, if the match has started, is the announcer still talking?
Another pet peeve of yours?
The match has started. Quit talking. Let the match go. You know, it's kind of like at the end of the match. You know, the winner of this bout, and they start attacking. You shut up. let what's going on go on. And when it calms down, wait for that moment to breathe, then do it.
All right, man, this is a street fight match with first blood rules.
So this first blood match is now a street fight matchup with first blood rules.
Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express taking on the Midnight Express.
We're at the semi-main event of the show already.
Yep.
Wow.
How the hell does that guy get booked?
Ricky Morton?
No. The guy doing play-by-play.
Dan Paris?
Yeah.
Dan Paris doesn't get booked. Dan Paris shows up to shows. Nowadays, most of the time, he just brings a camcorder and records for himself.
Huh.
I have plenty of DVDs that I've done commentary with him, because there's one thing, he will send them out to you afterwards if you do something with him.
Right.
But he was working with Trans South down in Union. I don't know if he still is or not. I don't know if Trans South is still running in Union anymore. But yeah, 9 times out of 10 he would just show up and set up on his own.
Then they let him.
Yeah, you know, it was, you know, Dan's been around since the days of tape trading, so it's a way to get, hey, eyes on us elsewhere.
Right.
But there have been times where I've tried to explain things on commentary, and Dan will just go, "What?" I'm like, well, you just totally destroyed everything I just tried building up
Right.
with one sentence.
One word.
I remember we were promoting a show in Easley at some festival. I think it was Easley. And Ricky Morton and Bobby Eaton were supposed to wrestle each other that night. And they were talking about the match. And I remember Bobby saying, "What are we going to do tonight?" You know, he says to Ricky, "Are you going over tonight?" And Ricky says, "Well, yeah, brother, if we put you over, they'll know this shit's fake." All right, folks, we got a tag team match with one camera trying to cover 4 guys going all over the Mulberry Rec Center in Lenore, North Carolina. It's one thing I never liked on independent shows is matches that go all over the building.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, half your crowd can't see what's going on.
Right. I was down there at MAXW when I first started. Before I even started working with them, we were just going to the shows. My buddy Naz was in this Falls Count Anywhere match, and they started in the ring and then they went around and whatnot, and then they went to the back. They sat out there for like 5 minutes. This random
Right.
The finish was you heard a chair smack a wall, right? And then like 30 seconds later, somebody comes out, and then Naz has got what is now a broken chair, because they had a broken chair in the back. Had a broken chair in his hand, showing it to the crowd.
Oh, that is great. Referee gets knocked out. Bobby Eaton goes to throw the chain in. Robert Gibson catches it instead of Dennis Condrey. Hits Dennis with it. Dennis starts bleeding. The referee's unconscious. Bobby takes his shirt off, wipes the blood off the forehead of Dennis, and smears it on Ricky. So now Ricky looks like he's bleeding. And now he's going to point it out. That is amazing. And now we got a fat person in the crowd trying to moon him. I think he was going to moon Bobby Eaton. And I love the fact Bobby just put it on like a bandana. I love it. You know what's great is at the house I have a set of the Midnight Express. I bet if I watch through that set, they've done that before. I love the fact that here it is, 2017 now. Ricky and Robert still wrestling almost every weekend.
Right.
And last year, about this time, I saw a match Ricky and Robert against the Heat Seekers, Elliot, Russell, and Sigmund. Great tag team out of Tennessee. So we had to stop, pause, middle of my thought. So as I was saying,
It's not my fault. It's just testicle difficulties here, man.
Testicle difficulties. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
But as I was saying, Rock and Roll Express against the Heat Seekers, Ricky Morton does a dive through the ropes at 60 years old.
Shit.
And I teased him after the show, because I've known Ricky for years. And I said, somebody got paid early tonight. And he says, no, I trusted him. And, that says something, because you have to really trust who you're out there with.
Right.
Yes, the goal is to, win. It's also not to, I've heard it said, I walked into this building tonight, I'm going to walk out of this building tonight.
Yep.
And that's just it. I've heard things, I didn't feel comfortable doing. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, it's great to see these guys still. And I love the fact that I've been around them enough, they know who I am when I see them.
Yeah.
And Robert Gibson, not a handshaker. He'll give you the fist bump. So a little friendly advice if you ever meet him. Just heard a fan say that was old school. Oh, Dusty's pissed. Mick's got a bigger reaction so far. He's wearing the sweatpants.
Yep.
We were watching Mick Foley's DVD before we started recording this, and I was talking about the benefit for Sabu.
Yeah.
The main event of that show was Shane Douglas against Raven, with Mick Foley as the referee. First 15 minutes of it was all promo work from the three of them, and it was amazing. The crowd started ripping on Douglas, or no, I think it went from a Dude Love chant to a Dean Douglas chant, and then I think even a Johnny Polo chant. And I just remember one of them, or I think it was Mick said, I can't say anything, I was Dude Love. In fact, during his intro for that match, Raven gave out Disco Inferno's home phone number.
Oh, shit.
If you watch the DVD, it's been censored. But it's still like everybody's going, whoa, 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 repeat that. I don't know if that's a logo on Foley's sweatpants or if he forgot to take off the extra large tag. The sticker that usually goes up the leg.
The logo. Nope.
I think it's a logo.
Yeah.
I always wanted one of those wanted Cactus Jack shirts. I never bought one.
Yeah, I thought about getting some off of eBay.
It's easier for you to get a Cactus Jack shirt off of eBay than it is me. I've got a few more X's in my shirt than you do.
Well, we just do the old-fashioned Foley Raw versus SmackDown and just
sew a couple together.
Yeah.
See the extra X's that I have in my shirt, you have in your films. I wonder if Dusty's going to come out to American Dream. Foley's not going to get physically involved. But I guarantee Mr. Sacco is.
Wouldn't doubt it. That's a every match thing.
And I can just picture Abby going, you want me to sell a goddamn sock? Am I getting paid tonight? You've already announced him once. You don't have to reintroduce him. So Abdullah the Butcher's coming out to Muhammad Hassan's music? I think that's Muhammad Hassan.
Sounds like it.
I was about to ask who the big guy was coming up, but he was just bringing a chair so Abby could climb in. So one thing about independent wrestling shows, they have a tendency not to have ring steps.
Right?
Which, when you're big guys like me and Abdullah the Butcher, that's no fun.
I wonder if he ever got those loops in his boot stuck on the ropes.
Got my foot caught on a rope trying to get out of the ring a time or two. In fact, there's you go to Wrestling with Redbeard's page, look up Brett Wolverton on YouTube. Yeah, it's me getting my foot caught and Bob Keller giving me holy hell for it. See, Foley was smart and got out of the ring when Abby was in there.
Uh-huh.
I worked with Abdullah back in 2004, and I was ring crew that night. And as we were tearing down, there were these kids just running around, and one literally ran right into Abby. And Abby just looked down at the kid, said something to them, and their eyes just got this big, and they ran the opposite direction. I couldn't help it. I walked over and I said, "What did you tell them?" I said, "I told them I was going to take them home with me." Well, that's not American Dream. I mean, it's the American Dream, but that's not Common Man. My grandmother had hair like that. She didn't have the splotch on her stomach, though. Yeah, Peggy Latham there in the corner used to be front row ringside at almost every auditorium show in Spartanburg back in the Crockett days.
Oh, yeah.
Every time we go there, she always points out to me where she sat. I wish I'd have been around during that time. So much history in that building. And that's one of those. Back when Dick Bourne used to run the Mid-Atlantic Gateway site next to her. That's where I used to find out about shows like this that were coming to the area. I don't think he does upcoming events anymore, though. But that's one of my bucket list things is to announce a show at the auditorium.
Right?
Just so much history in that building. When Big Time Wrestling was there back in September, they took the wrestlers that were there to where the original Crockett ring is still there at the auditorium in storage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't do the intro, you ring the bell.
At least I didn't go with the tongue.
The main event was sponsored. Abdullah the Butcher was sponsored to be there. So why are you giving him one? He needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's my job. Just once I want to do that and go, ladies and gentlemen, he needs no introduction, and walk off.
Right?
And just watch them go, it's a figure of speech.
You should do that for the next roast.
Yeah. first experience with Abdul the Butcher, that show I met him at. I go into the locker room. Somebody needed something. And there's Abdullah. He's got his compression shorts on. His wrestling pants are about here. He's got one hand down the other one. And he's holding a cigar. Just holding court. And I'm going, I'm going to make this quick. Because I don't want to be back here longer than I have to be.
Right.
That's one thing about these legend shows. The locker rooms ain't pretty. There's folds, wrinkles, and if I wanted to see that stuff, I'd take my own clothes off.
Yeah.
Although I don't quite have the side boob that Abby has. But then again, I also don't have my pants up to here either.
Yeah. That's just something I never understood. How the hell do you get a side boob like that anyway? That's more pec than anything else, but it goes all the way to his back.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like they've started to fold under and head back for home.
Yeah. Too much fat on the ribs. Maybe that's why they closed down.
Could be. Yeah, he's already got the... I love the fact that he's trying to hide the object, even though this is a Street Fighter. No... What is it? No DQ or... Bloodbath? What the hell is it?
Bloodbath.
Blood Brawl, yeah.
Well, it doesn't say what the hell it is, but...
Oh, well then maybe it isn't a no DQ. But I thought I heard him say it was no DQ. Of course, then again, I'm trusting Dan Paris' commentary.
Right.
But yeah, they're pointing
Shame
out
on
the...
you.
Yeah, silly me. You ever heard the story about Abdul the Butcher and Cactus Jack at the Clash of Champions?
Huh.
Mick Foley works Van Hammer in a street fight. They were in Kansas, I think. The arena was being set up for a rodeo the next night. And the match ended with Abdul the Butcher hitting, I think, I want to say he hits Van Hammer or Foley, one of them, with a shovel. So the other gets the pin. Because Abdullah was feuding on and off with Cactus.
Yeah.
And Missy Hyatt was back there doing like field reporting for the match. And Dusty was the one that put everything together. And he said he went up to Abdullah and Mick before the show and said, I didn't tell you this, but I want to see the woman go in the water. Because they had like a horse trough there. So they get to fight, and I can't remember, I think it's Abby, just picks up Missy and dumps her in there. So yeah, Dusty's bleeding. Or at least trying to. Thank you, Mick, for stepping in front of him so he can cut himself. Some people are more subtle about it than others.
Right.
You want real fun? Go on YouTube and look up Captain Lou Albano wrestling. 'Cause just about every match, as soon as he gets hit, you'll see him go with his thumb. That's where he's got the blade. And it's just totally obvious, too. And he'll do it 4 or 5 times before he finally leaves the ring. Okay, so it is legal. So why was he hiding the damn thing? If you've ever seen pictures of Abdul the Butcher, you know, he's got grooves in his forehead just from years of scar tissue.
Yep.
So that used to be one of his favorite things to do on road trips going through toll booths. He put the coins in there. Oh, exact change. Here you go. Ching, ching.
Right.
That kid's happy to see blood. The lady directly behind Mick Foley in the glasses and the purple, which is in like a wheelchair or rascal. I used to see her at a lot of the North Carolina shows too. back in the day. Super nice lady. Hassan Chop. You're not going to see a lot of bumping in this match.
No.
A lot of blood, perhaps.
Dusty Rhodes' face being twisted and dug open. Dusty is very bloody. Stumbling out into the crowd. Busting up some sides. You can tell.
Dusty told a story on one of the old Legends round tables on WWE that there was shows like this. There was a time he was wrestling Jerry Lawler a lot, and he said, they go to talk about the match before, and he says, "I'm just going to put my elbow up. You're going to run into the elbow." That's all they called it.
Abdullah the Butcher continuing to assault Dusty's head, busting him open repeatedly.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I really
You can almost guarantee
I grimace a lot at the wrestling nowadays because you can always tell who's going by what they called before the show or before their match, and then you can see who's calling it in the ring. The guys that call it in the ring, it's horrible.
Okay, Dusty just did his rapid fire elbow punches to Abdullah's crotch, which, being a big guy, I know 2 or 3 of those may have hit. Everything else is hitting stomach. Notice Abby still has not left his feet.
Right.
His butt is hugging the middle rope for all it's worth. Now, that's one thing I notice a lot is if you see something screw up in a match, you can tell who gets lost.
Yeah.
Because they know move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have no idea how to get to 3 without doing 2.
Right.
He's forking him. He's forking the hell out of Abdullah the Butcher's forehead. And back rake with the fork. No, he gave him a dose of a fork, you tool. Okay, so apparently the ringmaster of the circus is Mr. Franklin. But he's hitting him with the other hand. Why fork him when I've got an elbow that works? And Abby's still not. Abby's check didn't clear. He's not bumping.
Right.
So I'm just going to punch you in the dick. It might have been low. It might have been low, and Rob Van Dam might have been high.
Yeah.
He wasn't even on this show. Uh-oh. Nick's been provoked.
Here we go.
Laser type gun? Ay, caramba. Not out of thin air, it was his pocket. Uh-oh. Oh, Abdullah's not eating Socko. It's going to be Franklin. Mr. Franklin's going to eat the sock. Jesus! It wrapped... So the special guest referee wants a referee?
Yeah.
I'm a real boy. Well, at least somebody's gonna bump in this match.
Right.
Ain't gonna be Abby, ain't gonna be Dusty. Yeah. He's gonna eat the sock. Mick Foley did a thing in Greenville last year. He did a stand-up show. And he said afterwards, he says, I have t-shirts and stuff available for purchase. I have socks available. He says, but if you have something for me to sign, I will sign it. I'll take pictures with you all you want. But I guarantee you, if you buy something, I will smile bigger. It's like Bob likes to say, you will not offend me with cash.
Right.
So if you're ever at a show and they ask you who to make the check out to, the answer is cash. And they're fighting to the basketball hoop, folks. At least that's where the camera's going.
Right. Hey, you want to take it outside? Yeah. Man, this is a really good idea.
You know, we were talking about fighting out in the crowd earlier into the back. I did a show back in December, or no, it was November, with Sammy Callahan wrestled Ethan Case. And when the music hit for Ethan Case to come out, it was Sammy Case in Ethan's gear. Like fully dressed up Ethan Case. And I just stood there going, okay. And Sammy's music hits. And there's Ethan Case in full Sammy gear, doing every mannerism, everything. And as Ethan's coming to the ring as Sammy, Sammy gets in my face and he says, I want you to introduce him as me and me as him. And I went, huh? So I spent the whole time they're coming to the ring going, how am I going to do this?
Right.
And I looked at Ethan and I said, am I announcing you first or him? He says, him. Okay. So I introduced Ethan first and he did everything. Sammy did the same. I mean, they did the same thing. It was hilarious. But they got into a lockup and they were fighting and they took it to the back. So that the referee goes after them. All of a sudden, they pop through the side curtain. Everything's back to normal. Sammy's in his gear. Ethan's in his. And it took me 2-3 minutes after they kept going to go, they're back to normal. It was so well done. Mr. Franklin about to get forked by Dusty? Or just tossed out of the ring? Oh, he's going to need an elbow. Not a bad bump out of the ring.
And the cane is still hanging there.
But you'll notice most of the crowd's already taken off.
Yeah.
They're headed home.
Yeah.
It was devastating when we lost Dusty.
Yeah.
It was such a big personality. You know, that was one that really stung last year, 2 years ago now. You know, I have, if Bob let me borrow it, I have a shoot interview with the Midnight Express.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was recorded either this night or another one of the shows that Tony Hunter did because it was done in Lenore. They say, see you in Orlando.
You know what? I'll tell you what, Bobby. We have fought them and run them out every territory in the country today. We run them out of Atlanta. We run them out of the Carolinas. We run them out of the Mid-South area and leave down. We're going to run them out of the Carolinas once again because let me tell you something, Ricky boy. Look, this is all you, my friend. This is all you right here. They know how to do it. We beat you like a red-headed scout child that you are. And let me just tell you one more little thing. Look out here. You didn't beat us in a wrestling match. You didn't beat us in a boxing match. You didn't beat us singing, and you didn't beat us.
Dan Parrish should have a microphone or something. He just looks strange just standing there.
You didn't beat us at nothing. Hey everybody, it's Mick Foley.
Hi, Mick Foley.
You can see things are a little out of hand. I didn't exactly call it down the line, but they didn't give me much chance. I'm going to do this the way I wanted. I mean, I wanted to get physically involved instead of just showing up and being the referee. It's all right, but it's not exactly what I was looking for. I'll tell you what, you look at the crowd, and what the guys do when they come here is they rediscover why they fell in love with wrestling in the first place.
The money.
Yeah.
Just loving everything we're doing. Not expecting guys to go through tables, just to bust their butts, give great memories.
Did somebody go through a table line? I don't know.
Appreciate the crowd. It's pretty hard to find these
It's probably why he said it.
Oh, okay.
vegan places. Fans could be able to
Yeah, I know that first. I didn't happen that minute and a half first match we didn't cover.
Uh-huh.
but it's really nice.
You didn't miss anything, trust me.
Love wrestling. I've said it before on the radio.
Hip tosses.
But this is the hottest city in the country for independent wrestling. Now I know why. It's great. Come here.
Was the hottest for independent wrestling. Personally, I think Charlotte right now has got to be. Charlotte's a hotbed right now for wrestling.
He'll come back around.
It's wrestling. Wrestling is very cyclical.
Yeah.
It cycles, which is funny because back in the day everybody was on steroids. More cycles. Most. I can't say everybody. Don't think Dusty was ever on the gas. You too, Mick.
He just looked up. Yeah, that's good.
And now we're back to the main menu.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys found me watching this entertaining as entertaining as he found my reactions to it. If not, we'll find something else that's horrible for me to watch later on.